Donald Trump aims to sharpen economic message in North Carolina speech, warning of Kamala crash. In a speech designed to hone in on his economic message, Former on Wednesday warned of a 1929-style depression under his opponent, while pledging to roll back major Biden-era initiatives and spending. Trump's remarks, which he branded as intellectual to attendees, infrequently veered off into personal criticisms of and included asides on immigration and decision to drop out from the race. He repeatedly predicted that campaign would roll out an economic agenda that is a copy of my plan, after the vice president echoed his call to not tax tips. And he said he would immediately restore the economy to pre-pandemic conditions if returned to the. If Harris wins this election, the result will be an economic crash, said from the stage at a 1929-style depression. When I win the election, we will immediately begin a brand new economic boom. It will be a boom. Former holds up breath mints to explain inflation during his August 14th speech in. He sought to illustrate inflation's impact, asking supporters whether they feel rich under than they were under his administration. They shouted no. And during the speech, he pulled out regular and miniature containers of breath mints, comparing them and saying this is inflation. Harris will deliver an economic speech of her own and on government. In a statement shared by the Harris campaign ahead of the speech called "A Bad Bet Can't Afford," and Harris a proven winner who's delivered for our state. People in Western know when they're getting played because they experienced it when then ran our economy into the ground like he drove his own casinos into bankruptcy with low wages for working people, fewer jobs, and high unemployment, said. Annual inflation fell below 3% for the first time since 2021 in index data released. The cooling rate, combined with a potential cut in interest rates by the on the horizon, is a pivotal moment in officials' years-long fight to tame inflation and combat high prices. But it remains a potent political issue as consumers continue to eye higher costs for food, cars, and housing, and both parties seek effective messaging on solutions. Trump attacks Biden's economic spending and his vice president. Much of the former president's agenda for the economy involves rolling back spending and initiatives from the. He promised to terminate the nickname for the administration's wide-ranging climate agenda and claw back unspent money. An analysis found that as of less than a quarter of the $1.1 trillion dedicated to investments had been spent. Trump said he would issue an executive order to direct every cabinet secretary to defeat inflation and bring consumer prices down, as he lamented the price of food. The cost of groceries, the cost of bacon, said. I don't order bacon anymore, it's too expensive. And he repeated his call to drill, baby, drill, and harness fracking to produce oil and energy domestically. His administration, he promised, would slash energy prices by half at least in the first 12 to 18 months. Trump pledged he would reopen to drilling. Behind him on stage, the background set was emblazoned with calls for no tax on tips and no tax on Social Security. At one point, Trump expressed reluctance at solely focusing on the economy, remarking that they say it's the most important subject. I'm not sure it is, he added later, but they say it is. Dispersed throughout his plans were attacks on, several of which he debuted in a rally and shortly after said he was stepping aside. He mocked her laugh, that's the laugh of a crazy person, I tell you, and repeatedly called her stupid. You know why she hasn't done an interview, said. Because she's not smart. She's not intelligent. Harris to respond with her own economic agenda and visit, his second to since dropped out of the race, comes as the former president aims to seize back momentum in a reshaped campaign. Polling across battleground states, including, indicates that Harris is narrowing the margins that existed between and in some surveys gaining a lead in those states. The vice president is set to visit for the first time since securing the nomination after a prior event was canceled due to